Hey, everybody. I just got off a great call with an organization out of Fort Worth, Texas, inquiring to see if our waiting lists and rosters could be a great tool to help them in their program. They're struggling with tracking kiddos, bringing kiddos in from phone calls into the classroom, figuring out when kiddos could start and move up from classrooms. They cared for infants all the way through school age. They had quite a big program, licensed for over 150 kiddos. So we dove in. I showed them what CCBC is all about. I'm giving you a snapshot of that as well. If you have questions about whether this program might help yours, give me a holler. I'll set up a free consultation. We'll see what we can do to help you as well. Have a marvelous day. Check it out. We had a great time. I manage my class with my Google roster.
Dee and I worked on this and we're in 26, 27. They were born in 24. They're 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
The thing that I like about this is you enter the information in once and then you just kind of drag it.
So
I like the 6-month projecting thing.
A waiting list that could work with your roster as you're taking over the administrative duties of the waiting list and some enrollment for the daycare part of your organization. So we can dive into those possibilities and see if we can provide some solutions. This is the best part of what I do, is reaching out and seeing if what I've learned and know can help others. I manage my class with my Google roster. Formula in here that creates the age is absolutely terrific, because in 3 months, this is going to say 3.5.
Well, one thing I really like about this is, it's all like there together.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're
On a
jumping sheets. Then you end up putting the kid on the wrong sheet. And then it's like, wait a minute, where'd he go? Or, something like that. It feels like the thing that I like about this is you enter the information in once and then you just kind of drag it.
When I manage our classrooms, if I'm looking at a preschool classroom, here's how we manage this. Tommy's coming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And Elena's going to come Tuesday and Thursday. And that's just super simple.
Mm.
And I can see their ages. And again, this is where we start putting in some other, and we can create your own concepts. Here's my roster. Where is everybody going to be in 6 months? So I'll literally
with our promotions. Yeah.
I'll make a copy of this and I'll just call this August 2024, and I'll make a copy. Now this is just, it's not going to affect my current roster. And I can booger this up. I can play with it. I can edit in here. So I added 6 to the months column, and this just divides the months by 12. And then I can paste that down. I could paste that to all my children real quick, and I know where everybody's at in 6 months, or how old Elena is going to be May of 2025. Now you can anticipate that.
Oh,
wow.
Dee and I worked on this and we're in 26, 27. They were born in 24. They're 2.5 years old.
Yeah. If you have 6 classrooms, and you've got 30 staff, probably 28 staff between part-time and full-time.
Yep.
And to make sure we're all on the same page, you got a lot of kids to remember. And I know, because we have about 220 kids between our program, and I know who's potty trained and who's not. And I may not have even met that child.
Yep.
And I know who's ready to move up to the younger Todds before I even meet them, because of that simple communication touch base with teachers. So when I put Jake in and I put his schedule in, you'll see that his name populates to the right. And so I'm able to print out this nice little roster of my kiddos, and it just auto populates for them. So
I like the 6-month projecting thing.
Mm-hmm.
That to be able, because that's what we're working on right now, trying to see what our August roster looks like.
I'm curious if you've worked out a pretty good program for scheduling your staff.
I've tried a lot of different scheduling softwares. I've looked at everything from 7 Shifts, which is a restaurant one. We've used 4 or 5, but goodness, I have high school students, I have college students, and I have full-time and part-time others. And with oftentimes staff with children, that their needs change. And so So it's not like a restaurant where you have 3 different shifts and you just plug people into 1, 2, or 3 shifts. So this has been our system. And so we have lots of tools in here, as well as marketing strategies. Here's some staffing. There's a staff schedule template in here, an example of a job application. Our treasure chest is everything. So we actually have our menu in here. You said you do cook for your program, so there's like recipe books in here. Here's some tuition resources, teacher resources, and so forth. If someone was just interested in just the waiting list by itself, then it would be just that waiting list Google template, and that would be $199 for the waiting list by itself. Same customization. We'd still work together to provide you with whatever tools support you needed to make sure we got that waiting list dialed in just right. The main screen, so at a glance, you can see how many infants you have on your waiting list, toddlers and preschool, in all 5 categories that you do. So that is just pulling data right off of the waiting list. There's a waiting list source page here that we can use to manipulate to make sure the ages are appropriate for your program. The roster would include a full look at exactly how many children you have in each program. We can plug your rates in there. It'll track percentage of enrollment at the moment, how many children are self-pay, how many are on child care assistance. And if you wish to use this, there's projected revenue calculations. If you were full, if you were 50%, you said right now you're around 90%. So if you wanted to use some of these to help calculate some projected revenues, that's on there as well. What else is over here? There's lots of hidden gems in there. You have to track students' immunizations, their health form, their emergency medical authorization. So however you do that, you probably do that through Brightwheel, maybe. Are all of your child files uploaded into Brightwheel and they're tracked there? Do you know when someone has a health doctor appointment due?
Yes.
Perfect. So you would just maintain that this is just something you can use if you choose. There's a payroll review tool.
So Kirk, assuming I'll talk to the team, assuming that we want to use your spreadsheet, talk to us about use or purchase, as well as, do you do support with that as well, or kind of talk to us about that?
Yep, you bet. So our waiting list, the full package for me is $499. You would have access to a waiting list as well as a roster, staff schedule, and then any initial customization that you'd like any help with, we will do that. It typically may feel like an hour or 2 working together for that, maybe 3. I don't have a bank because I haven't felt like anyone's really taken advantage of that, but the customization is make sure the classrooms are set up right, the parameters, the ages, and so forth like that. We can edit it together. So my support looks like a phone call, another Zoom, or 2 follow-up just to make sure it looks right and feels right. Hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you head over to childcarebizconsulting.com. Give us a look. Check out the treasure chest, waiting list, both on sale still for a limited time. Give me a holler if you have any questions. Be happy to chat with you. Take care. Have a marvelous day.